Welcome to the Chic Assignment Check-In for July 2019.
Welcome back to the Daily Connoisseur. I hope you've had a wonderful July. I hope that the Chic assignment has been a blessing for you. I know that it has been for me. Okay, so let's jump right into this month's assignment. The first one was to watch Rieu and his orchestra, the Johann Strauss Orchestra, performing the Grande Valse Viennoise. And that video is such a happy video. You cannot watch this video without it bringing you joy. So I recommend, if you ever feel sad about anything or upset and you want to feel happier, you can watch this video and it just brings a smile to your face. The people are so happy and the orchestra is just beautiful and it's just an amazing performance. I'm going to leave another performance by that same orchestra of them playing the beautiful Blue Danube, and that is an amazing performance as well. All of his performances are. I want to tell you a little bit more about Andre because I think he's an important figure in the classical music world. So I have his website down below. It's just andrerieu.com, so you could go visit that. And on his biography here, he says, "For at least the last 20 years, my personal life has been so bound up with my work that the story of my personal life would sound pretty much the same as the story of my career, especially as my wife Marjorie has been so closely involved from the start. My life is simply music. Music is what we are always doing, and it never gets boring." He says at the end here, "My dream is to make the whole of classical music accessible for everyone. To achieve that, I've had my own recording studio built and we're working hard to make new recordings of the classical repertoire. I hope I may be given many more years to make people happy with my music." And he certainly does. So Mr. Rieu, if you are watching this, you have millions of fans across the world. You already know this, but we appreciate you. We appreciate you making classical music fun, accessible, and joyous for the world. So thank you so much for your dedication. I wanted to talk to you now quickly about Johann Strauss Jr. Johann Strauss II composed over 500 waltzes, polkas, and quadrilles, and other types of dance music, as well as several operettas and a ballet. In his lifetime, he was known as the Waltz King. This is his picture. He was born October 25th in 1825. And he died June 3rd, 1899 at the age of 73. And what an incredible contribution he has given to the world of classical music. And I love a waltz. Johann Strauss's most famous works include the beautiful Blue Danube and the Emperor Waltz. So there you have it, and I hope that you enjoyed listening to that piece of music this month. Alright, so in my last video I did an Emily Dickinson hair and makeup tutorial. I know that's a bit of an unexpected video. Normally we like to emulate celebrities in our modern culture, but I like to look to the past for inspiration, and that was just a bit of fun for me, so I hope that you enjoyed it as well. But Emily Dickinson is maybe the most famous American poet, and she is a fascinating figure to me. In fact, I want to explore her story more, and I'm sure we will return to her at some point in the Chic assignment. But I just wanted to read to you quickly from the Poetry Foundation about Emily's life. It says, "Emily Dickinson is one of America's greatest and most original poets of all time. She took definition as her province and challenged the existing definitions of poetry and the poet's work. Like writers such as Ralph Waldo Emerson, Henry David Thoreau, and Walt Whitman, she experienced with expression in order to free it from conventional restraints. Like writers such as Charlotte Bronte and Elizabeth Barrett Browning, she crafted a new type of persona for the first person. The speakers in Dickinson's poetry, like those in Bronte and Browning's works, are sharp-sighted observers who see the inescapable limitations of their societies as well as their imagined and imaginable escapes." In my last makeup tutorial video, I read "Hope is the Thing with Feathers," and I think that that is Emily's most famous poem, and I certainly love it as well. And today I'm not going to read that one to you because I've already read it. So if you'd like to hear me read that one, you could watch the makeup video. But today I'm going to read "A Bird Came Down the Walk," and she often uses birds in her poetry and nature. "A bird came down the walk. He did not know I saw. He bit an angleworm in halves and ate the fellow raw. And then he drank a dew from convenient grass. And then he hopped sidewise to the wall to let a beetle pass. He glanced with rapid eyes that hurried all abroad. They looked like frightened beads, I thought. He stirred his velvet head. Like one in danger, cautious, I offered him a crumb, And he unrolled his feathers and rode him softer home. Then oars divide the ocean, too silver for a seam, or butterflies off banks of noon leap plashless as they swim. So something that I really feel that I have in common with Emily Dickinson is the fact that I am a homebody and rather introverted, believe it or not. But Emily lived at home for her whole life pretty much. She was almost a recluse where she never married and she never had children. She lived in the family home and she rarely went out, and toward the end of her life she really stayed at home. She did enjoy home life. She loved baking, for example, and loved home arts, and her poetry revolves around a lot of nature, so I'm assuming she spent a lot of time in the garden as well. She is an enigmatic figure for me, and you can read her biography more. I will leave it linked down below. But I find it just fascinating that she wrote so much poetry, and she never knew how famous she became. She got this fame after she passed away. And so it's just so remarkable to me that she is one of the most famous American poets, and yet she never knew it. I would love to visit her home one day. I know that that has been turned into a museum. I will leave more about Emily Dickinson below, and I'm sure that we will explore her poetry more in future Chic assignments. Okay, next, we are going to observe ourselves with mindless snacking. And you know that in Lessons from Madame Chic, Chapter 1 is snacking is so not chic, and by that I mean mindless snacking. I was initially going to say let's not do any mindless snacking this month, but I thought, you know what, it would be better if we simply observed it. And when we do the mindless snacking, I know for me it's when I'm stressed, usually at the end of the day when I'm just tired and I want the day to be over. That's when you just start putting handfuls of things into your mouth as you're walking around, right? Not chic, not good, because you're not noticing what you're eating, and that type of thing. Also at parties, I tend to mindlessly snack. Just maybe that's like a social anxiety issue, I'm not sure. So that is when I tend to mindlessly snack. Yes, I still do it even after all these years, but I don't do it as much. And I think that being aware of when we do it is just a very powerful thing. When you are aware of it, you can warn yourself, like thinking at the end of the day, let's say you're stressed, the kids are coming to you for things, you have the urge to just pick up the box of Cheez-Its and start eating it. You can just be aware of that. You know, the French, or at least the family that I lived with, did not mindlessly snack at all. It would be very out of character to see one of them walking around the house with a bag of chips, or just kind of shoving things in their mouths, crumbs falling down their shirt. I can't even imagine it. I have my notes here. I'm just going to take Lessons from Madame Chic, that's my book, and just read briefly from that first chapter, Snacking is so not chic. When living with a different family, especially in a foreign country, one finds many causes for anxiety. One cause for me was food. Back home in California, I was used to grazing all day long. A handful of crackers here, an orange there, some cookies here, a yogurt there. Would I feel comfortable going into Famille Chic's kitchen and foraging as if I were in my own home? And then I tell a story about the first time I tried to snack, which was very unsuccessful in Madame Chic's home. So I wanted to read a pivotal key here, and this could be a whole series. I mean, honestly, all of this stuff is so rich, and there's so much to talk about, and I'm just choosing a little portion here. But I go on later in the chapter to talk about how we need to make dining well a priority and having good meals. Of course, all this effort to not snack is futile if you're not eating 3 balanced meals a day. At least. Do you feel like you can never get ahead when it comes to planning meals? Are you always wondering where your next meal will come from? Takeout, delivery, rummaging around the kitchen cabinets? Are you slightly neurotic when it comes to food? Maybe snacks are taking the place of meals in your life. Famille Chic made meals a priority and enjoyed them ritualistically. There was not one night where we considered ordering pizza delivery because there was nothing for dinner. Or even worse, stood above the kitchen sink while eating a bowl of cereal at 9 p.m. because dinner failed to happen. So I like to be prepared and to plan. Even as I am speaking to you right now, there is a freezer meal in the oven. One of my shepherd's pies is in the oven, and that's going to be for lunch later today. So being prepared with your meals is crucial. I have a ton of meal videos here, freezer meal videos and the like, that you can research, and I can leave a playlist down below if you need help with that. But I would love to hear from you and your insights on your snacking this month. And the final assignment was to give out a compliment this month and to notice how the other person responded. And this was an interesting experiment for me because I love to give out compliments. I give out compliments a lot just because I know that I feel really good when people compliment me, and I like to make other people feel good as well. So I gave out a lot of them this month, and I was noticing the response. Now, usually the response is when you give someone a compliment, they deflect it. Let's say you complimented someone on their dress. They would say, oh, this old thing, this was on sale, you know, it's nothing. But actually that didn't happen to me this month. Everybody that I complimented this month accepted the compliment, and that was really great. I know that I myself tend to diminish things. If I'm given a compliment, it sometimes makes me feel uncomfortable. So I'd say, oh no, and I'll try to make myself appear like I didn't deserve the compliment. Do you see what I mean? So I would love to know what the reaction was to the compliments that you dished out this month. So I received some compliments this month as well. And I remember one Sunday I was in the ladies' restroom at church and I was just washing my hands, and this one lady just said to me, "Your dress is so beautiful." She just complimented my dress. And I was just taken off guard because I was in the restroom. You don't normally talk to people in there. And I said, "Oh, thank you," you know, and it just felt so good that somebody complimented me. You know, when they come out of nowhere like that, they just really do boost your day, which shows the power of a compliment. Now, I received a compliment. Somebody for their chic assignment decided to compliment me, so I'm going to read her comment. Okay, Lisa Ramirez wrote to me and she said, "Dear Jennifer, I saw your challenge for July, or maybe it was June, and I'm late to the party." No, it was July. "Well, either way, here's my compliment. You have done a wonderful job setting up your YouTube channel. It's a benefit to women, and I have learned a lot from it." She said, "By way of explanation, I'm a mom of 7 who has no time for anything, yet I find myself watching your videos and feeling very encouraged to make the time for my sake and for my family. It is worth it. Thank you. What a lovely gift you are giving to others. Many thanks, Lisa Ramirez." So Lisa, I just wanted to say thank you for that compliment. And I also just want to say that I always get compliments from the viewers and the readers. And I just want to thank you so much. You are so kind, truly kind. I also get a lot of complaints, but I like to focus on the compliments. So I just want to thank you so much because it does mean a lot to me. Okay, so that is it for the Chic Assignment check-in for July. Also, I would love for you to pre-order my new book, Connoisseur Kids, Etiquette, Manners, and Living Well for Little Ones and Their Parents, or Parents and Their Little Ones, by moi. And this is going to be coming out in September. I'm going to be doing a lot of videos on it, but it is available for pre-order right now. And this book is just so good for families. So if you have a family, if you have children, or if you know someone who does, this is a wonderful book, and it will be enriching for the whole family. And I will definitely talk about this more when the time approaches. One more thing, at the end of this video, you are going to see a new end card, and that was designed for me by my really good friend, Nikki Moreno. She is so talented, and she has an Etsy shop. I will leave it linked down below. Nikki also has a YouTube channel called Inspired by Nikki, and if you love my channel, you will love her channel. She is just fantastic. So go show her some love and go subscribe to her channel and check her out if you have never seen her videos. They are truly a blessing. I just really enjoy doing these chic assignments with you. I find that this delving into art, cultivating our minds, is so enriching, and it provides me just everyday beauty. And I want to thank you for being a part of that. So I will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.